A man in Joplin is hospitalized after being hit by a train.
Plans to memorialize Joplin's spirit tree that have been on hold could soon get going again. I'm Zach Dodge with the story.
As farmers market season kicks off in Miami, Oklahoma, health officials use it as another opportunity for people to get vaccinated.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police say a man's in the hospital tonight after being struck by a train. This is KOAM News at 6. Happened around 9 this morning. Authorities say a 42-year-old pedestrian was hit by the train at the intersection of Murphy Boulevard and South Wisconsin. They say the man lost an arm. No word on his condition or why he was on the tracks. A Quapaw, Oklahoma man is convicted of sexually abusing a minor and illegally possessing parts of protected eagles. 57-year-old Carl Ortner Jr. was convicted by a federal jury. Authorities say Ortner falsely portrayed himself as a Native American spiritual counselor in order to sexually abuse several Native American minors. Investigators also say they found feathers and various parts of bald eagles and golden eagles which were illegally possessed at Ortner's home. Sentencing is scheduled for September 30th. Checking in with Nick Kelly. A lot of us got more rain today, and we do not need it, Nick.
For some, Dow, we are getting a break in the action as the evening gets underway. Despite that, everybody is stuck underneath mostly cloudy skies. At least in Joplin's point of view from 7th and Range Line, at least the city's looking dry at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. And we kind of backed off a little bit on the rain that's been persistent across southeast Kansas for a good portion of the late morning and early afternoon. But now the focus has shifted to just light rain east of 49 in our far eastern counties on the Missouri side. Still all part of an upper level wave trying to pull in more moisture before it lifts to the north and gradually takes away the rain chances, especially by this weekend. Most of us right now are in the lower to middle 70s, between 70 and 74. Everybody will be right around 70 by 10, 69 by midnight. Lows near 67, but we'll hold on to some rain chances overnight, Dow. And for tomorrow, fortunately, though, the weekend does trend drier, which is good news for all. We'll break that down here in a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Nick. As we approach the 10th anniversary of the Joplin tornado, a commemoration for a symbol of hope and strength is moving forward. KOAM's Zach Dodge has details on the newest plans to remember the spirit tree.
There are a lot of memorials in Joplin designed to remember the lives lost in the 2011 Joplin tornado, but none of them are quite like the spirit tree.
It's got different levels ranging from inspiration, love, and we're moving forward.
The spirit tree was originally painted by local artists in 2012, but in 2018 the tree fell, and the spot where it stood left an overgrown lot today. But that's not the end of the road for the symbol of strength and hope.
The idea is to have the sculpture art, the new spirit tree sculpture, to look as identical as possible as the actual original tree, but to scale it up.
Doug Hunt explains that dream was started shortly after the tree fell, and a lot was done in a short amount of time. The location at 20th and Murphy was secured, an artist was found, and next was the fundraising campaign.
And then the pandemic hit. And that, coupled with the fact that the capital campaign was underway for the Cornell Center,
that put forward progress on hold. Forward progress that will soon start again, with fundraising kicking off at the beginning of next year.
And then by that time get to the point where we can sit down with Jorge Lavera, our artist, and come up with a concrete plan on getting this done.
So even though it's been a few years, the vision will move forward. So the spirit of the tree and what it stood for will live on.
I want our kids and grandkids to look at that and to hear the story about how we came out of this darkness.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Hunt says they aren't sure what the sculpture will cost, especially considering the high cost of materials right now. After the tornado 10 years ago, many family pets in Joplin went missing, but because of all of the recovery efforts, many people just didn't have the time or the resources to look for them. Well, to help, the ASPCA teamed up with the Joplin Humane Society to reunite pets with their owners. After animals were found, officials with the organization went to community meetings, put up flyers, and used media to get the word out.
Anything from their life because it has gone, it's in shambles. And so to know that they now have, some part of their life back is, is something that, is oftentimes very overwhelming.
Over the course of a month, the organization provided emergency shelter for more than 1,300 animals, reuniting 500 pets with their families and finding new homes for more than 700 other animals. Some of the best healing after the Joplin tornado came from Louie and Jackson, two comfort dogs at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. The two brother dogs recently passed away. Tonight on KOAM News at 10, we're going to look back on the church's comfort ministry and hear about the ministry's future. The Ottawa County, Oklahoma Farmers Market today kicked off their 6th season at the Miami Fairgrounds. Event coordinators say the purpose of the farmers market is to increase access to healthier options across the county. To achieve this, they say they accept SNAP and use the event to educate attendees. Along with giving the area better access to nutrition, the farmers market also offered free COVID-19 vaccines. They say bringing vaccines to an event promoting health makes it easier for people to access the shot.
We've got either Northeastern Tribal Health Systems or the Ottawa County Health Department here, and they're hoping that on week 1 somebody will get a vaccine, and then on week 4 they can get their second dose, and they didn't have to go anywhere or do anything special except come and get their veggies like they normally do each week.
The Northeastern Tribal Health System administered shots today and says by giving vaccines outside of a normal healthcare setting, they hope to reach more members of the community. Coming up, he's not a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, but an NFL star making a donation to an area sheriff's office canine unit. Plus, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announces the end of a state of emergency. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger is awarding grants to law enforcement canine units all across the country, including one in the 4 states. The Ben Roethlisberger Foundation at the Giving Back Fund is distributing 15 grants to police and fire canine programs, and one of those is the Cherokee County, Kansas Sheriff's Office. In total, the foundation is providing more than $90,000 in grants this year, which can be used to establish new canine units, replace retiring dogs, buy safety equipment, and pay for training. Sheriff David Groves says his office is excited and honored to receive the grant and that the canine unit will be better enabled to keep the community safe. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson today confirmed the COVID-19 state of emergency declared last year at the start of the pandemic will expire on Sunday, May 30th. Hutchinson says the focus now is on the state's vaccination campaign. The state is spending $6.4 million in an ad campaign to encourage Arkansans to get vaccinated against the virus. In addition, Arkansas is spending $2 million for a minority ad campaign that targets particular groups with specific messages.
It is important to understand that we are still in a pandemic. The fact that I am ending the declaration of a public health emergency does not change the fact that we still have the COVID-19 virus in our community. It does not change the fact that our public health system has to continue to deal with it. It doesn't change the fact that we need to continue to get vaccinations out.
More than 36% of Arkansas residents 12 and older have been fully vaccinated, according to the Arkansas Department of Health. Governor Hutchinson has set a goal to get 50% of Arkansans vaccinated by July. The Tulsa Health Department is contacting more than 1,100 people who received improperly stored doses of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. State and Tulsa health officials say the doses are not a health threat, but may not be as effective against COVID-19. The Tulsa Health Department said the doses were administered from May 3rd to May 17th at the James O. Goodwin Health Center, the Central Regional Health Center, the Sand Springs Health Center, and the North Regional Health and Wellness Center. Water rushes out of an Osage County, Oklahoma lake following a breach of the dam. The breach is at the dam on Lake Waxahoma near the town of Barnsdall. The area got heavy rain over several days this week. Crews are working on repairing the leak. Officials say there is no imminent danger of a full collapse of the dam. A little bit later, a Kansas teen is recognized for his hard work volunteering to help the homeless.
Plus, while our rain chances continue this evening, we will get some dry time in here very soon. Forecast up next. Surprise, surprise, the cloud cover held tough once again, keeping temperatures mainly in the mid-70s this time around. And sure enough, we did have more rain sneak back in as advertised, even though it was nice to get a break in the action very early this morning. But once we got the morning drive underway, and certainly the late morning and afternoon hours underway, that's when we saw a good scattering of rain and maybe a few random thunderstorms at times. But the rain so far today resulted in only 0.3 of an inch of rain on the average. Needless to say, once you hop north, just north of the region, we do see heavier amounts as you work closer to Emporia and Topeka. But all the rain that we've seen ever since Friday certainly has added up and has resulted in some of the local rivers running a little higher than normal. Flood warnings along the Neosho River from about Allen County all the way down to Miami. The Little Osage, the Osage, and the Marmaton rivers running a little higher than normal. And these flood warnings won't expire until we get into Friday morning at the earliest and Monday evening at the latest, since it's got to let all this water run through, even though more is trying to continue on at the 6 o'clock hour. Maybe some scattered showers, very scattered in our far western counties, but in the eastern counties, this is the more steady band of light to moderate rain as more moisture continues to get pulled in from south to north. So that's going to at least keep some rain chances around for the evening and overnight. At least in the meantime, though, even though it looks kind of ominous in Joplin, it's just a cloudy sky and you're dry for the time being in Joplin while you're sitting at 72. East breeze at 13, humidity kind of high at 81%. Most of us sitting between 70 and 74 degrees. So it's still mild out there and we're going to stay mild for the rest of the evening. We'll drop back into the upper 60s by midnight, down to about 67 for your Friday morning lows. Let me take you back to the maps. Let's widen the setup again. More moisture continues to pull in from the Gulf of Mexico, but not because of anything at the surface. Our stationary front that we've had all week long finally fell apart late last night, and then this front is what we're focusing on. Fortunately, that doesn't come into play until next Tuesday and Wednesday. That's meantime, pardon me for that, this upper low continues to lift to the north, and then the next one could try to bring some interesting thunderstorm chances our way by the middle of next week. So in the short term, even though that stubborn upper low is lifting to the north, it's still influencing our weather as it pulls in more moisture. So we're going to hold on to some scattered showers for the evening, and by the time the Monday morning, thankfully Friday morning drive gets underway, then we'll just deal with some scattered rain and a couple of thunderstorms again, but we're going to drop back on the coverage a little bit. 67 in the morning, 74 by noon, highs near 78. Friday evening could start with some scattered rain. We could have some scattered rain during the morning on the Kansas and Oklahoma side especially, and maybe clipping Joplin with lows in the upper 60s. But then I think the rest of Saturday is going to improve for the better. So, didn't mean to do that. This is what I wanted to point out for you all. For your Saturday, 67 to start. I think any rain chances will be primarily in the morning, 75 by noon, and highs pushing near 80 degrees with, thankfully, a dry Saturday afternoon. 81 on Sunday. We stay near 80 for early next week. Maybe random shower or two on Sunday, random storm Monday, and then sticking with Doug's pattern Dow, we'll see better chances for strong, maybe severe weather by the middle of next week.
I know you'll keep us posted.
Yes, we will.
Thanks, Dave. As the 10th anniversary of the Joplin tornado approaches this weekend, AAA is sharing some tips to make sure your home is storm ready. First, if you don't have a storm shelter, pick a safe room in your home where you can take a shelter. That room should be a basement if possible, cellar, or a ground level interior room with no windows. Practice drills periodically with your family so everyone knows the plan. Move or secure anything outside that could be picked up by the wind. And finally, listen to local weather coverage to stay up to date on watches and warnings. Still ahead, a Kansas teen who spent much of his own time and money serving the homeless community is recognized for his efforts. A remarkably generous student from Wichita is recognized for his community service. Javion Napier, a high school freshman, received an award for his selflessness and hard work in volunteering to help the homeless. Reporter Haley Tucker has more.
This is why you have me dressed up today.
Javion Napier, a South High School freshman, can only be described as an amazing kid.
I'm gonna go put this on the wall.
But one school day, Javion was late to school because he said the bus was late. But what officials at South High didn't know, it wasn't a school bus he was talking about.
Javion has to get up at 6 in the morning, catch a city bus at Lincoln and Woodlawn, go all the way downtown to the transfer station. After being at the transfer station, catches another bus that drops him off over at Dillon's. And if any of those buses are late, he's late to school. So I'm like, man, that really stinks. Then they told me, well, have you heard what else he does? No, what else does he do, guys?
This is what Javion does. He throws burgers, brats, and hot dogs on the grill in his mom's driveway every other Saturday.
I started a program about 3 years ago. I started selling lemonade to help the homeless, and now I start selling hot dogs and hamburgers to help the homeless.
People come and buy Javion's hard-to-miss, deliciously smelling food at his mom's house.
I may stick around and eat some more. It's looking so good.
And what money Javion makes every other Saturday, he takes to the grocery store and buys supplies for the homeless. Javion was awarded an Outstanding Citizens Plaque by the Wichita Police Department.
His dad died in a hit and run whenever he was younger. You know, he had to move, and then he has to take the bus every morning. At one point, I was told he only had one pair of shoes. So with all the things like this that are going on in his life, I wanted something to be positive.
It makes me feel good on the inside because our kids are a small light of us. And so that lets me know I did something right.
And doing right is something Javion hopes to continue.
And you do it in love, not just for the money. You don't ask for nothing. It is if they give you something, put it back in the business and give the rest to the charity like I do.
Quite a hero. A final check of the forecast next. We take time now to honor a local veteran. Kent Holt served in the U.S. Navy from 1951 to 55. His hometown, Uniontown, Kansas. And we salute Kent Holt, a four-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to get a look at a new exhibit at Spiva Art Gallery titled Dear World from Joplin with Love, 10th anniversary. Also, our special report on the legacy of two comfort dogs that helped thousands of people after the Joplin tornado. And a look at the ongoing worker shortage in the U.S. That and more on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, looking to work remotely in the near future? Well, here's a list of the best countries for remote workers. Thailand, Sri Lanka, Singapore, and Cambodia finished on top for best nations to work remotely. French travel and tourism company Club Med ranked dozens of locations based on a number of factors, including cost, safety, average internet speed, and the presence of nature or wellness spots. The only two non-Asian countries to make the list were Mexico and Brazil. Checking back with Nick Kelly now. More rain chances ahead.
Yeah, scattered rain will continue this evening, Dow, and to start Friday morning out. Then we'll expect a scattered thunderstorm chances. Nothing severe, though, for tomorrow afternoon. Highs near 77. I'm thinking mainly rain chances Saturday in the morning, and then we're dry for the afternoon with highs near 80, holding off on any good chances, if you want to call it that, of strong to severe weather until the middle of next week.
Thanks, Nick, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
If you see news happening, tell us about it.